skimmers are made out of file folders. If you look at the bottom, some file folders have pre-made folds. I like to make my skimmer on the side that does not have those pre-made folds, and the tab is on the top. Next, I take my ruler, I line it up with the very bottom edge of my folder, and I scribe a line. From that line, from the left-hand side of my folder, I am measuring over 280 millimeters and making a mark. I slide slightly up my folder and I mark 280 millimeters again. This is what allows me to get a perfectly straight line. I draw this line in and I basically go the entire length of my folder. I just rotated my folder left so the fold is on the left side. And from the line that I'm lining up now, I'm measuring over 100 millimeters. Going up to the top of my folder, I'm going to mark 100 millimeters up here. This is for the width of my skimmer. I'm going to use these 2 points to draw a perfectly straight line, and I've just created the main outline for my skimmer body. If I rotate my folder back now so the fold is towards my belly, I am going to shade in the area of my skimmer that is not used. I'm rotating my folder all the way upside down. Now the fold is facing away from my belly. I am measuring from the side where I've shaded, and I'm going to measure over 75 millimeters. This is going to be for the fold in the back of our skimmer. Always mark in 2 different places. Again, the measurement is 75 millimeters. This line, when it goes in, is actually going to be a dotted line, and dotted lines will later be folded. I'm going to rotate my folder back. Now the fold is again on my left-hand side. I'm going to measure for the rails on the side of the skimmer now. I'm measuring from the edge of the skimmer body, and I'm going over a distance of 12 millimeters. Again, I am marking in 2 spots. I want to make sure that my line is perfectly straight. When you put this line in, part of it is dotted and part of it will be solid. The part that is solid is a cut slit. The part that is folded is going to be a fold line, or a dotted line is the fold line. Doing the same exact process on the other side. Again, the measurements are 12 millimeters. It's basically a symmetrical part, so this side will be the same. Next, I'm going to line my ruler up on my dotted line for a fold line, and I'm going to extend that line up. This is going to help me to make my scoop. That line needed to be a dotted line, so I'm erasing it out. Next, I'm going to measure down that line a distance of 75 millimeters. Going to measure down the other dotted line, again, a distance of 75 millimeters. From that intersection to this line, and this intersection to that line, both of those measurements were 75. Now I'm going to draw in a solid line from those 2 locations. This is the main part of the scoop. There's also tabs on the end, which I'm going to measure for next. From the very top left corner of this square, we're going to measure over 3 millimeters. I'm going to do the exact same thing from the upper right corner of that square. I'm going to measure over 3 millimeters and mark that endpoint. From the bottom left, the measurement is different. You measure over 9 millimeters. You will measure the same distance from the bottom right corner, 9 millimeters. From these 4 endpoints, it will allow you to create an angled line for your tabs. Next, I'm going to make one of the fins. I like to start out making my fin a square shape and then clip off the corner. Right now I'm measuring over 75 millimeters again from the left-hand side of my folder. I am marking in 2 different spots so that I will get a perfectly straight line. Now I'm using my ruler as a straight edge. I'm not particular about how long this line is, I just draw it extra long. Next, I rotate my folder. I'm going to put the fold on the left-hand side. From this intersection, I'm measuring 75 millimeters across, and from this intersection, 75 millimeters across. Again, 75 millimeters is halfway between the 7 and the 8 on your metric ruler. I am not too concerned about that corner being affected. Remember I said earlier I was going to clip the corner off. From the upper right corner, I'm going to measure over, and from the lower left corner, I'm going to measure up. The distance that I'm going to measure is 12 millimeters. So from the lower left corner, I measure up 12 millimeters. Those 2 spots will create a diagonal line, and that will indicate where I need to cut my fin. Next, I'm going to shade out the part that is not a part of my fin. That line is going to get extended across so I can create another square. Remember that you need 2 fins. I line the edge of my ruler up on that top line and extend it across. Next, I'm going to measure from the corner of my old fin across a distance of 75 millimeters and across the top line a distance of 75 millimeters. And I will use those lines to create my second square, which will allow me to make a second fin. Again, I'm shading out areas that will not become a part of my skimmer. This process is the exact same as the last one. 12 millimeters is the distance. And the final skimmer layout looks like this.